Signature required. Part 1. A short story by L.D. Roberts. April 25th, 11:18 p.m. Snow falls onto the asphalt, dissolving on impact, turning the freeway into an oily, slick death trap. Bleary-eyed with fatigue, I stomp on the brake to avoid smashing into a barrier 3 inches to my left. The 23-mile unlit stretch of construction between Castle Rock, Colorado and Monument is chaos. 3-foot-high concrete barriers hem me in on both sides. The asphalt is littered with potholes and scars. The left side of the lane is 4 inches lower, forcing my Honda SUV to tilt at a 30-degree angle, causing a sick game of Russian roulette. I wonder if I'll survive this drive. I have 116 miles to go before I reach Supermax in Florence. Supermax Prison, a steel behemoth of testosterone, outrage, and madness. Turning off the main highway, I drive through 5 blocks of antique stores, mom-and-pop diners, and an ice cream store. At the end of town is Supermax, up on the hill, housing the world's dangerous and depraved. 23 different YouTube channels and 37 websites update their subscribers with Supermax news. They have names like Supermax, where evil lives. That one is very popular with 257,000 subscribers. It provides a comfortable living for its creator. The public has an insatiable appetite for fresh rumors, stories, gossip. Supermax is in perpetual news blackout. Webmasters and YouTubers are ravenous for tidbits of information. New prison uniforms create endless discussion. People bored at work ask, are El Chapo and Ted Kaczynski friends? With El Chapo's worldwide connections and Ted Kaczynski's intellect, what type of havoc can they unleash on our world? I am going to Supermax for a signature from Marcus Delacruz, a serial killer. After Marcus was convicted, his brother Jackson Delacruz isolated himself from the world of autograph seekers, true crime writers, and murder groupies. Alone in a tiny house in the desert, with only tumbleweeds for company, it was 68 days before someone asked for a welfare check, and the police found him dead. He left no will. Marcus Delacruz has the legal right to act as executor of his small estate. I need Marcus to sign a resignation, allowing his cousin Miriam to act as executor. My law firm has written 11 letters containing the resignation and requesting his notarized signature. All have been ignored. After this visit to Supermax, I know I will be hounded by content creators, journalists, and murder groupies. I am not concerned. I know how to repeat the phrase, no comment, in a dull, monotonous voice. Taking my eyes off the road for an instant, I am enclosed in a tight, unmarked curve. Barely 2 inches of clearance on each side. My heart pounds, my shoulders bunch up to my ears, my fingers cramp around the steering wheel. You're okay. It's going to be okay, I repeat to myself, gripped in a tight knot of fear. Nothing exists but the steady rhythm of the windshield wipers, the hum of the heater, the rattle and thump of the tires straining on the uneven asphalt. I gulp in air, forcing it down hard into my lungs. You are not locked in a closet. You are in control of the situation. But I am lying. There is no controlling the snow or the road conditions. I spent too many nights alone in a dark closet, huddled beneath wool coats brushing the top of my head like tiny winged creatures. All my attempts to escape, futile. I remember the smell of dirty wool mingled with stale cigarette smoke. I blink away the memory, and around the next curve, the snow begins to lighten. My heart rate slows. I adjust the seat and settle back, and continue cautiously until I reach my exit. Pulling into the empty parking lot, I struggle to align the SUV between the lines. 3:26 a.m. I stretch my shoulders, roll down the window, lean back, listen to the night. It is so quiet. No faint hum from the fluorescent streetlights, no barking dogs. A vast emptiness. I grab my bag, lock the SUV, walk up the concrete path into a well-lit lobby. The clerk is a middle-aged woman with jarring white teeth, dressed in a corporate-issued black skirt and white blouse. "Kate Wyatt?" she asks. I nod. "One night?" "Yes." "Are you here to visit a prisoner at—" She glances over her shoulder, as if the word Supermax will conjure demons. The word visit is absurd. A visit implies holidays, birthday parties, sharing a beer on the front porch. No one comes to Supermax for a visit. "Yes, why else would anyone stay here?" My rudeness makes me realize how wired and tired I am. Undaunted by my comment, she continues, "What time is your scheduled visit tomorrow?" 10. She glances above my head at the clock behind me. "Would you like a wake-up call at 9 a.m.? Perfect." She hands me a small packet with a room card. 214, third door on the left. I pick up my bag and head for the room. The door opens on the first try. It is a typical cheap hotel room. A well-worn bedspread faded beyond color. A rickety nightstand, huge TV bolted to the dresser. I undress, settle into bed, stare at the ceiling, and try to unwind. A shrill blast from the rotary phone hurls me out of a deep sleep. Where the hell am I? I gaze around the room, see the rotary phone on the table. It takes a few seconds for my brain to form connections. I pick up the receiver, hold it to my ear. I listen to the convoys from last night ask, "You awake?" "Barely, thank you. We have crappy fresh coffee in the lobby." Sounds great. I attempt to place the receiver into the cradle. It slips out of my hand and clatters to the floor. It needs to be fitted into the cradle. After 3 tries and a loud curse, I get it to fit. Foregoing the bad coffee, I dress and drive up the hill to Supermax. I park in a huge lot surrounded by a 15-foot chain-link fence, snarling with barbed wire. The prison building lacks shape and color, like a mining operation on a distant planet, cold, barren, forgotten. I press the buzzer outside the door marked visitors and wait. 10 minutes later, the door is opened by a guard. His shoulders are so broad I wonder if he can bench press a Volkswagen. He's an older man with mournful eyes, leathered skin, and a million-yard stare. He gestures me to enter. I peek into a narrow hallway, hesitating. His thin lips curve into a tiny smile. "It's okay. Come on in." I step into the hall. Behind me, the huge steel door slides into the wall pocket, locking automatically. I stand and wait on chipped beige linoleum. The holding room is devoid of light and warmth. The room is triangular with 3 beige steel doors. Each door leads to a place where the devil abandons his children. A female guard in a cubicle points to a cheap beige plastic couch. I sit, regretting I didn't have any of the hotel's crappy coffee. I check my phone. No reception. The door on my left opens. A female guard with a pit bull face, squinty brown eyes, and 2 bright yellow tasers on her belt walks in wearing a sour expression. She came into the world pissed off and will leave it the same way. She shoves a clipboard and a cheap plastic ballpoint pen at me. Fill it out. When you're done, go through there. She points to the third door. You will be searched, given a name tag and one of these. She points at a steel band on her wrist. What is it? A tracker, like a Fitbit. You never know. We might have to search for you. Her eyes are dead eyes, her nonchalance chilling. I complete the form, hand it back. A door opens. I follow her down a hall. The search is every bit as humiliating as I expect. Then the guard places my purse, briefcase, and phone in a metal locker, then punches in a 9-digit code. Be sure the clipboard and the pen come back out with you. She barks, at the same time clamping a bracelet around my wrist. It latches so quickly I wonder if the latch is magnetized. The older guard returns and points down along the dimly lit hall. I follow him, reluctantly. His name tag reads Spencer Owens. First time? The only time. He cocks his head. My black suit and white blouse tell him I'm a lawyer, but he assumes I'm a criminal lawyer representing one of the inmates. I'm just here to get a signature on a civil matter. Leading me down the long corridor, he asks, Did you Google him? No. He lifts heavy dark eyebrows in surprise. Most people are curious. Why? All I have to do is get his signature. I'm not going to date him. He laughs and smiles. You'd be surprised. I shake my head. Please don't elaborate. Some things are better left unknown. I agree. We reach the cell. I watch as he puts 3 different keys in several locks, then enters a long code on the keypad. Marcus Delacruz sits at a square metal table. His manacled wrists are bolted to a large round opening in the middle of the table. His feet are also manacled. He wears the regulation orange jumpsuit. Both shoulders hunch over so far, he looks as if he has sunken into himself. He's bald and weazened. He looks like someone's uncle the family pities and tolerates on holidays. His forearms are thin like twigs, and his tiny fingers curl tightly into his palm. He looks like he couldn't light his own cigarette. I wonder how he committed 12 murders. I expect him to rape me with hostile eyes. Thankfully, he seems uninterested. Good morning, I say as I sit in the metal chair opposite him. He stares at the wall over my left shoulder. I slide this clipboard with the resignation form across the table, placing it directly in front of him. It's important you understand my firm does not represent you. When you sign this form, you waive your right to become executor of your brother's estate. You will be agreeing to appoint your cousin, Miriam Holloway, to act as executor. You are entitled to consult your own lawyer before you sign the form. With the speed of a starving crocodile, he snatches the clipboard off the table. I notice underneath the handcuffs is a tracker similar to mine. He scribbles on the blank line at the bottom of the form, lays the pen next to the clipboard, then motions to Spencer Owen. The chain is unlocked from the table. Marcus Delacruz rises slowly, begins shuffling on slippered feet toward the cell door. At the door, he turns, looks through me with feral, ancient reptilian eyes. You seem okay. It would be such an awful shame if you died on a gurney with a spike in your arm. We lock eyes. I hold his stare. After a full minute, his bottom lip curls into a half smile. He throws his head back and cackles. A harsh, hysterical sound. Then he shuffles away. I remove the form from the clipboard and wait. Spencer Owens returns, and I walk through the cell door. I didn't hear what he said, but you handled him well. He tried a mind game to screw with me. Did it work? He asks, his brown eyes filled with concern. I'm a lawyer in a large corporate law firm. I point my thumb behind me at the empty cell. He's an amateur compared to what I'm used to. He lets out a hearty laugh. Reaching the steel door, he punches in a code. The door opens. I slip through and walk down the empty corridor, glad the ordeal is over. I go through the door, only to be met by Miss Congeniality. Hold out your wrist. She passes a large black metal wand over every inch of the tracker. Bright red lights flash, like the strobe on a police car. Nothing else happens. She pushes one of the tiles over to the left, tries again. And still, nothing. She frowns. Go sit over there, she barks as if I am the cause of her problem. I'll find a tech to remove it. It's 10:30 a.m. I sit on the lumpy faded couch. I would commit murder for a latte. Digging through my purse, I find my copy of Persuasion. I'm a sucker for Jane Austen. All those ridiculous happy endings. I kick off my high heels and settle back to see if Aunt Elliot can convince handsome Captain Wentworth to let her have another chance at true love. At 3:30, the door opens and a tall guard walks in. I look up hopefully. He shakes his head and walks by. I'm not that upset by the delay. I have so little free time, and I can bill the hours to the client. So technically, I'm working. I tuck my legs up under my butt, lean back, and continue reading. At 7:30 p.m., I hear a door close. Looking up, I realize I am stiff, cold, and ravenous. I close my book. The tracker slides down my forearm. Each tile is a dull, flat black, like an empty TV screen. 2 tiles on the inside of my wrist are held together by a loop of 2 half-inch thick metal links. At the bottom of each tile is a tiny metal loop, 1/8 of an inch wide. I run my index finger over every inch of the tracker, searching for a lever or some type of locking mechanism. The inventors must have known prisoners have nothing but time. The fastener is completely hidden. I try and slide one of the tiles, but it holds fast. The tracker looks like the bastard child of a Fitbit and a charm bracelet. Food here sucks. Thought I'd bring you something. Spencer Owens sits next to me and opens a styrofoam container full of noodles and spice. It feels like Christmas morning. I could kiss him. Thank you. A small and adequate word for how grateful I feel. The guard in the cubicle points to the no food or drink sign above my head. Spencer flips her off, then hands me a container and a white plastic spoon. Pad Thai, spicy and sweet. He hands me a clear plastic cup. I take a small sip, and the fizz explodes on my tongue. How'd you know to get Diet Coke? All women drink Diet Coke, even if they're a size 0. It's some kind of chick thing. I let my lawyer bitch expression slide off my face and smile at him. This is so good, I say, shoving another spoonful into my mouth. The sauce drips down my chin onto my white blouse. You are so kind, I say, wiping sauce off my chin. He smiles. He goes up to the glass cubicle, leans down, whispers to the guard. He returns. I'm sorry, he says, shaking his head. Not your fault. They can't seem to find the tech who knows how to remove it. What's the problem? He shrugs, raises his eyebrows up at the tiny camera in the ceiling panel. Silently, he begins to gather up the containers and utensils. From habit, he counts the spoons and places each one into the paper bag. I have to go, he says. Thank you so much. I can't tell you how much I appreciate. If I starved to death, I don't think anyone would have noticed. Reaching the door, he places his index finger on the keypad, then turns. Don't let them talk you into leaving before they remove, he points, whatever the hell that thing is. Why? Just don't, he says. The panel door closes behind him, and he is gone. At 9:37, the female guard walks towards me. I thought it was impossible for her to look more pissed off, but somehow she does. I got word they can't find a tech. Go on home, she says as she waves the back of her hand at me dismissively. The tech will call you tomorrow. He'll arrange to meet you in Denver and take care of it. You can go. She points to the door. I think of Spencer Owens, the warning he gave me, and the look on his face. I wonder if I should refuse to leave, turn into the PMS bitch from hell, and demand they force the tech to come to the prison. I am about to go off on my tirade when I decide I will not spend one more second here with Miss Congeniality. If I leave now, I can get home before midnight, and the picket motion is due tomorrow. Go on, get out, the guard demands. I stifle an urge to punch her in the face and walk outside into a clear night, filled with bitter cold, a cold that seeps into my bones. After my confinement, I welcome the clean night air and the bracing cold. I roll the kinks out of my shoulders, tap my feet, rise up on my toes trying to get some circulations into my limbs. I think of the podcasters and the YouTube creators, desperate for content. What a story I cannot tell. I get in my car, turn on my phone, listen to my messages. It is completely unacceptable for you to remain out of contact so long. Call me immediately. I laugh. The senior partner must be having a litter of kittens. I hit redial, and he answers with a pissed-off grunt. You told me to call you immediately. I was finally released from Supermax. What happened? They put some kind of tracker on my wrist. There was a technical problem and they couldn't get it off. Did you get the signature? I'm fine. Thanks for asking. And yes, I got the signature you needed. Good job. I am surprised by his compliment. I put the phone down, start the SUV. It begins snowing. A light, fluffy snow. The kind of snow in Hallmark movies. Making the left onto Highway 50, a young doe stands frozen halfway between the lanes. I crank the steering wheel, hard. My stomach drops as my wheels slide off the edge of the road. I am a split second late in cranking the wheel back, and the SUV tumbles into a deep crevasse. The airbag deploys like the blast of a gunshot and the punch of a prizefighter. The SUV rumbles to a stop. I am pinned on my right side, barely conscious. I feel it. I feel something. A stirring, like the beating of a newborn's heart. I fight down panic. My skin prickles. The tracker begins to flash. Long flashes, one blue, the next one green, over and over, as if they are signaling. The flashes flood the interior of the SUV like a cheap carnival ride. And then I am smothered by a starving, feral rage. The despair is so fierce. My chest shudders against the airbag. And then I realize I'm hearing the delusionary cackle of Marcus Delacruz. My pain is beyond anything my brain can comprehend. I exhale into a moment of agitated silence. The air around me quivers with madness, and I feel something ravenous and fierce slip inside me, slithering through my veins, struggling to claim me. My nose drips blood. Sweat pours from my forehead. The smell of gasoline mixes with the stench of burnt plastic. I try to pray, but the words scurry away from me. Fight, fight. Do not give in or surrender to him, or whatever the hell this is. Do not let him take you. Do not let him win. Then I feel a quickening in my blood, a wisp of breath, and whatever it is leaks out of me into a hazy mist. Then I black out. Later, I hear faint voices, and the SUV door cracks open. The seat releases back, but my head remains stuck to the airbag. Strong hands jerk me away from the airbag as a patch of skin rips away from my cheek. I feel a sharp prick in my forearm. I close my eyes, feel myself floating away. The SUV door creaks as it swings closed. The sound makes my brain twirl, forcing down a wave of nausea, and I begin floating above myself. Looking down, I am strapped to a gurney with a spike in my arm. No! No! My life cannot end like this. Marcus Delacruz will not beat me. A frantic mania fills me with adrenaline. My heart starts to pound in my ears. The heart rate monitor begins screeching as I chase out the last ragged shards of Marcus Delacruz's demon. As it leaves me, the tracker splits open and falls to the ambulance floor. Then the siren begins its ear-splitting blast, and the ambulance lurches toward the hospital. The ambulance hits a pothole, jostling my gurney. I cry out in pain. The air smells pungent with bodies packed tightly together. My mouth is salty with blood. It's okay. We've got you. You're going to be okay. Can you open your eyes? Can you tell me your name? Kate. My name is Kate. Kate, I need you to open your eyes for me. Kate, can you open your eyes for me? She wants me to open my eyes. Where will I find the strength to open my eyes? Come on, Kate. I know you can do this. Please try. I lift my eyelids a pinch. They snap closed. I lift my forehead, drag my eyelids open, only to be assaulted by glaring fluorescent lights. A sandy-haired male EMT sits on my right, his fat fingers frantically pressing the button on the side of his phone. He moves the phone a half-inch closer to my face and begins pressing the button again. He turns the phone on its side and starts pressing again. Son of a bitch. He's taking my picture, raping me of my identity. These photos will go viral. This whore, this ghoul, is photographing me without permission, reducing my entire life to a half second in time. The whole world will gawk at my disheveled hair, my bruised body, my powerlessness. I find the last reserves of strength and let out a piercing scream, startling him, and he drops the phone. It clatters to the floor. My fingers scrabble beneath the gurney for the bracelet. I hook my index finger over the edge, slide it toward me and lift it up. It is splayed open. With my left hand, I snatch his phone from the floor. He leans over me, his breath reeking of stale coffee. He is reaching for something behind my head when I grab his wrist and snap on the bracelet. What the? The heart rate monitor starts screaming. The siren continues blaring as I bash his phone against the side of the ambulance. Plastic and metal parts splinter and skid across the ambulance floor. What are you doing? That's my phone. I am somewhere beyond my pain. I leap up in his face. Listen to me, you asshole. I am an attorney. If I see one photo of me taken in this ambulance, I will sue you for every penny you have and every penny you will ever make, in this lifetime and in the next one. The female EMT picks up the pieces of his broken phone, goes to the back of the ambulance, opens the back door crack, and throws out the pieces. Both of us watch the pieces as they scatter and dance down the asphalt. She sits down next to me. Thanks. She whispers so only I can hear. Do whatever you need to do. She points a finger at the EMT. So I never have to work with this asshole again. Will do, I promise. I pass out as the ambulance pulls into the curved hospital entrance. I wake up the next morning to see my best friend Jessica and Charlie, the senior partner, sitting next to my bed. Jessica leans over and pats my hand. Thank God, it was touch and go for a while. I'm a tough one. How bad is it? You have broken ribs, a concussion, a fractured collarbone, a lost tooth. I think you're going to be here a while. No, what about? She nods in understanding. Not too bad. She shows me her phone. On the screen is a picture of my SUV, rolled over in a ravine, completely crushed. Underneath the picture is the headline, One vehicle accident, a half-mile from Supermax Federal Prison. Attorney hospitalized. No pictures of me? Only pictures of the SUV. I'm sure the reporters will hound you for a while wanting to get your side of the story. No, they won't. My pit bull. My ribs ache as I point at Charlie. He can handle reporters. I look at Charlie, watching his mind turning over possibilities of how to transform my situation into business for the firm. Jessica continues scrolling on her phone, then stops. Here is the website, Supermax Inc. She starts to read. Not since the Zapruder film has a picture received so many views. 2 million hits in the first 10 hours. A nurse pops her head in the door, scowls at Charlie and Jessica. They get up. We need to let you rest. I'll be back tomorrow. Anything you need? It'd be nice if I had my tablet and charger. Thanks for coming, I appreciate it. As they pass through the door, I press the button on the morphine drip and drift away. I spend 16 days in the hospital, drifting in and out of a morphine haze. In the dull afternoons between x-rays and tests, I wonder, did I imagine everything through the haze of a concussion? What is the tracker? Why did I feel like a force was running through my veins? I have no answers. As I heal, I prepare and file a detailed complaint with Dora to get Jeremy Evans' license revoked. The days go by, and one day I notice my head isn't throbbing. 3 months later, I am mostly healed, though my collarbone aches when I sit at the computer too long. I will be prone to headaches for the rest of my life. On a muggy July morning, I boot up my computer to check my email. The email reads, From Spencer Owen. Subject, Thought you might find this interesting. The text says, Hope you are well. I retired. Check out the article below. Next time you are in town, let me know. It's your turn to buy lunch. Spencer. I click on the attachment. It is today's front page of the Daily Record, Fremont County's local newspaper. The article reads, EMT Jeremy Evans has been dismissed from Rocky Mount Ambulance, pending a hearing to remove his license. Several ambulance passengers have come forward to accuse him of taking photos while they were unconscious in the ambulance. Many of these photos have been posted on the website carcrashcolorado.com. Evans has confirmed he has sold 25 photos to the website in the last 2 years. During my interview, Evans shows little remorse. I don't understand, he shrugs. They're just photos. It's not like I beat up an old lady for a purse. Further investigation revealed he was blackmailing several passengers, forcing them to pay him monthly to prevent him from uploading the photos. The Fremont County District Attorney claims criminal charges are pending. When I asked him if he was afraid to go to prison, he did not answer and began furiously scratching at his wrist underneath some sort of tracker. His skin was raw and filled with blisters. Why don't you take the bracelet off? I asked him. I tried. I can't get the damn thing off. His license hearing is scheduled for October 16, 2024. I will continue to follow this story and update you on this case. Lauren Anton, Daily Record reporter. I save the article in a new folder, then click on reply and type, how about Saturday? Let me know the address of the Thai place. I'll meet you at 12. I'll buy. I hit send. I receive an immediate response. Thai Palace, 10625 Larimer Street. I'll see you at 12. I think something really strange is going on. I hit reply and type, I think you are right. This is the end of part 1 of the story Signature Required. If you enjoyed listening to my story, please hit like and subscribe and leave a comment so my team and I can continue to record these stories for your enjoyment.